most people in Cornwall didn't even know that it was Kernow. Most people in Cornwall didn't speak a language, didn't know there was a language. Most people in Cornwall thought that to get on, they had to try and become English. We're gonna go? Yeah. So most people in Cornwall 50 years ago were told that the only way they could get on was to go away and become English. Now, our young people today deserve better than that. Our young people today deserve to be able to build a life in Cornwall that is fairly paid, that has housing, that is able to contribute to our society, contribute to our culture, our heritage, be part of who we are. Young people should not have to leave Cornwall to get on. We need to ensure that the Cornish people have a say in the future of Cornwall. Now, we've been running this petition, or there's been a petition running saying grant Cornwall nation status. Well, actually we don't need that petition because Cornwall is a nation. Cornwall is already a nation. The nation of Cornwall is older than the nation of England. The nation of Cornwall exists. What we need is for people to recognise that. And also what we need is for people to recognise our values. The values of Cornwall, of inclusivity has just been talked about, the values of standing up for all oppressed nations. We know what it's like to be oppressed. We've been oppressed since the 1500s. We know what it's like. That's why we stand with the people of Palestine, the people of Ukraine. We stand with all oppressed nations around the world and against the hegemony of the state, against the state being in charge. We need to have our voice. We need to have our own Senate with our own rules and our own laws. And those laws should be about fairness and justice. In Cornish we say, "Gwori wed, you gwori take." Fair play is good play. We need to have fair play for Cornwall. Now, 24,011, you might say, is not very many people in relation to the population of Cornwall. But actually, if you look at petitions on the government website, there's only one other one that has as many signatures from Cornwall as that one. And that one is asking for another general election now, which maybe is not to be asked for. But what we need to do now as a next step is we need to be looking at how do we galvanise that innate feeling of love for Cornwall, of need to have a better voice and better autonomy in Cornwall. How do we turn that into reality? How do we make sure that whatever devolution is on offer from Senedd in Westminster, that devolution works for Cornwall? At the moment, nothing that is on offer works for Cornwall. Do we want a mayoral combined authority with Devon? No! Do we want a few scraps from Westminster's table? No! Do we want real fair funding for Cornwall? Yes! Do we want real fair autonomy and a voice within the nations of Britain? Yes! So how are we going to do that? How are we going to make sure that we have that opportunity? Well, the first step obviously is to tell everyone, to make that point. That's part of the point of having demos like this, to say we are here. In Wales they say yma hi, we're still here. In Cornwall we say yma oni. Now let me all the barrel, can we all say yma oni? Yma oni, we're here.
Yma oni.
Splan. And we mustn't let people wipe us out of history. We've got thousands of years of history in Cornwall. We want thousands more, but we want a fair and just society as part of that, with looking after our environment, looking after our people, ensuring that we've got a fair housing market. All the things that Mebyon and Kernow are asking are about fairness and justice and a sound economy that works. We don't want people coming in, taking all our resources, making all the money and then leaving us like they have done in the past. We need a proper community fund, mineral fund, whatever you want to call it, sovereign wealth fund. We need money to stay in Cornwall for Cornwall. If you look at the amount of money that has left Cornwall in the past through mining industries, you look about the amount of money that is still leaving Cornwall today in relation to VAT collection, and we get no VAT back in Cornwall. It's been calculated a small proportion of that VAT staying in Cornwall would immediately change our economy. We are poor, we are deprived, but that's not our fault. That is because of the system that has deprived us, and the system that works for the centre, the system that works for those who've already got money to make more money. So we need to keep our money in Cornwall for the benefit of the people of Cornwall. So I'm asking you at every opportunity to support more autonomy for Cornwall. Whatever that governance system is in the future, it needs to be for Cornwall and it needs to be for the people of Cornwall. Kernow Agan Hagol.
Loveday.